You are a man. Shut the fuck up.
Nigga, do you got something you want to say?
Don't worry about me, I'm a god.
A lot of comebacks have happened in these past few weeks and I just want to discuss them in video form. I've shared some of these opinions on my community tab as well. Let's begin. Stacey, Teddy Bear. It's just so funny to me to watch how 4th-gen girl groups decline as soon as a new group comes on the scene. It's like so quick too. People like to claim that folks are just dropping these groups like flies, but the real tea is by time a new girl group comes along, the old girl group's company panics and completely goes sideways with said group's music. ITZY was fine then aespa debuted. aespa was fine then LeSserafim debuted. stayc was fine then NewJeans debuted. These aren't correlated to each other, but I always notice that as soon as a new girl group comes in the industry, these companies lose their mind. But with Stacey it's already a funny thing to watch because I've been saying for the longest that Stacey themselves have no true identity outside their music. Their company just waits for whatever is trendy visual and styling wise and keeps it incredibly safe with those girls. The most creative they've ever gotten was with Stereotype, and being that it was the only true planned comeback meant for a debut, the rest of their work just feel like cheap time capsules of what someone else did much better. Teddy Bear is awful, simply put. Do you think I'm shocked that Stacey went for a kitsch look directly after Red Velvet came back with their very kitsch comeback, Birthday? Are we shocked Stacey has now begun leaning in that more cute Y2K territory after NewJeans just did it? Like the company even went so far with the writing on the jeans for their dance practice. Mind you, I'm simply speaking about their creative direction. I fear if we break into the music, we could be here all day to discuss how abysmal Teddy Bear is. Straight up outdated and very kid commercial, but not even in a fun yum yum or birthday way. It feels like taking a bite into 2014 YouTube while listening. The song is just bloated as hell for no reason. I really don't understand what the goal of Stacey's company is anymore, especially with this musical rebrand. I think they're trying to keep it fresh, not because of the nonsense excuse they gave of expanding Stacey's sound, but more so the company realized now everybody was doing pop music with a nostalgic hook, which was Stacey's only lifeline in a sea of girl crush. Once they began to lose grip of that, I think they began to head towards the life raft. Also, I agree with Other that they should have just saved Poppy for a Korean comeback, but the teasers for Poppy are shit. Seriously, I don't know where the money that Stacey clearly is earning goes to, cause it's never to their actual production aside from music, as if they don't produce in-house already. NewJeans OMG. Awful teasers. If I look at your teasers and have to ask myself if they shot this with an iPhone, then you've done something wrong. I just feel like Adore dumps all their money into video production for the most part, and it's giving me awful flashbacks to BBC with Luna. The only difference is that the album packaging is handled with some care too, but honestly, this time around I wasn't impressed. I just feel like an album stuffed to the back with over a dozen postcards is unnecessary, especially when a lot of the designs featured seemed really filler-like and lazy. It's a single album, so I already knew going in that there was going to be some bullshit, but I didn't expect an absolute drop in creativity from their debut. I didn't leave satisfied. The new logos were fun and matched the season perfectly. It also showcased that they were more capable of making great logos that weren't in a Y2K style. I see some of us struggle with that. Cough. aespa. Cough. The music videos were splendid, and ditto especially reminded me of early 2000s Japanese films. It's interesting to see the team display different styles with each release. It's interesting to see a piece of media in K-pop that dissects a fan's relationship with the artist and vice versa. However, I do have some personal feelings regarding the decision. I just feel like if you're going to make an album in which is supposed to highlight and break down parasocial relationships, you shouldn't be profiting off them yourselves. Without a doubt, their app phoning is creating a parasocial relationship between artist and fan. Only your most dedicated fans are going out of their way to be a subscription to speak to these girls. Not saying we can't critique things in art and also partake in it, obviously how else would we know how to speak on it in greater detail? I just feel like it adds a layer of inauthenticity to the whole thing. Which is oftentimes the issue with NewJeans. Great messages and great visuals that go along with the theme, but outside world interests oftentimes conflict with their art, giving this uncomfortable air that would exist even if the girls were all of age, and that says a lot. It makes it even worse that it was planned from the beginning. Everything Adore has done for NewJeans up to this point has not said that they don't endorse parasocial relationships themselves. Their debut album is literally a tell-all about the girls themselves, which is practically unheard of in K-pop. It was unique and I greatly appreciated it, but if the point this entire time was to warn fans not to develop unhealthy relationships with NewJeans, then why even do this move to begin with? It's like placing cheese for a mouse to eat then scolding the mouse for taking the bait. Very weird. Banhizos isn't a light regardless and shows incredible creativity and effort by the team. Even with my gripes, I'd say OMG was a solid entry as a follow-up to their debut creative direction-wise. That's a beat, stamp on it. All I'ma say is, I love being right. If you genuinely believe this comeback was going to be anything but dog dookie, I got a bridge to sell you under my house. Like I was trying to tell the girls over and over again that this shit was gonna be hot ass. The logo was the first sign. Some impact meme bold ass font and of course a graffiti lettering paired over it in ink. Like it's so ghetto, I feel like the logo is about to bust out in No Hands by Waka Flocka. Shivers. The teasers are straight up gutter, but like whose idea was it to have them dress in beautiful gowns then tag up the place like this is 2015? Something about the first teaser set just gives very body odor. Like I don't know what it is, but it looks like it stinks in there. The photoshoot was so boring on top of that, despite having way too much going on as well as the styling being god awful. How you taking inspiration from Ocean's 8 and decide not to do that styling wise? Why are they serving Macy's prom catalog? The second teaser set was hilarious because why do you have these grown ass women in absolute squalor? Filth. Piles of manure. Like you can tell the flies were buzzing around that hoe and the roaches were waiting to see if the crew dropped a crumb or two to take home and feed their family of 1,000. Then the whole crew decked out in olive green like they about to walk for Yeezy's season 1. Like why are they in the puke color? I told y'all the warning signs were there, like they had them in the do army colors and you didn't see the war bomb's head? Speaking of bombs, they also let go of those color ones, like how cute. Y'all thought that would make it look better. Album packaging is literally just Boa's previous comeback. What was it? Forgive me? That's literally the same album packaging and it's making me go insane cause no one is pointing it out. It's bar for bar, like whoa? Not a single new idea in the vault? We couldn't even try to pretend this wasn't a money grab? Funny part is the album probably feels just as cheap as Boa's did. Then the music video is so dumb. Niggas tried to whack me over saying it was gonna be shit, and of course I was right because I'm always right. Like, they already did a heist theme with Red Velvet's Wild Side and then gave us a cyber remix for aespa's Girls. Why on earth would you dip into this cookie jar for a third time and think people weren't gonna feel like this is just a repeat? And the music video is worse than those two combined by a long shot. It's straight up ghetto. It's literally Ipsy's Voltage with absolute none of the good editing. Mind you, this is inspired by Ocean's 8, yet this set couldn't look more unserious and half put together. The ocean looks like a lake 80s. Purple Kiss, Cabin Fever. Purple Kiss, my favorite terrible group. 50 out of 100 times they gone hit and miss. Trust they'll swing their bat and hit themselves in the face. They will release awful Mamamoo music 25 of them times. The other 25 they'll sound like Halsey. I'm talking real dog dookie. The production will give beautiful gowns whether it be the styling or the concept photos. The album packaging would resemble some generic millennial food packaging. But best believe them other 50 times? They'll release the most average music with an average concept and average visuals paired together and I will applaud and dine. Not a stand ovation, but like those are my stepdaughters. I'm sorry, I've always wanted them to do a hotel concept. Like this was for me 100%. Now was it bare minimum? I won't lie, sort of. I think the outfits were okay. The bellboy outfits were peak while the pink outfits looked like they cut some corners a bit. However, all the styling shined in the music video, so maybe there's just a difference in how they're displayed between the mediums. I do wish they would have gotten a lot more experimental with the execution of the concept concerning the logo in the concept photos. The logo just being in your standard black letter that we get for horror or spooky related things was a bit disappointing. I think something custom would have been more appropriate here, maybe a mesh between script and black letter. Something unique. We could have gotten more cool shots, like maybe Chaeyoung peeking under the door from the perspective down below, or Swan behind the desk hiding. There was a lot of potential with the set, but it was only really shown some love by the music video, which is a pity. I have so many ideas, like can someone please call my line from that damn company. I also despise how their concept photos are posted on Instagram. It's so complicated and assures that their engagement is in the swamps. Their fans need to mass email their company about that or something, cause it's jarring every era. Instagram has slides for a reason, just use them. I'm still working out my feelings regarding the album's packaging. The color palette makes sense given the hotel theme, but something about the packaging reminds me of Dreamcatcher, and I genuinely don't like their album packaging, so doesn't bode well for my opinions on this. I just feel if they were going to do a matte box, especially for the purple version, they could have made the calligraphy design be an faux gold design to make it pop. I don't see the point in it being the same color as the box. It really makes everything look too flat. The white and black version of the logos on the packaging is just a tacky choice in general as well. Nothing makes me want to run and buy it. I've seen people point out that there feels like a budget decrease, but I disagree. I feel like their budget is pretty much the same, except this music video doesn't have all the extra editing that their others do, which clearly bumps up the illusion of something being high budget. Which, let me make clear, I'm not saying CGI and VFX effects are cheap by no mean. What I'm saying is a bunch of VFX effects in a music video can definitely help the music video feel more amazing than what the final product would have been with just the set and your typical normal music video editing. Also, I'm wondering if Zany Brothers worked on this music video, as Sweet Juice does look familiar to Billy's cinematography at moments, and both groups have worked with them. I honestly prefer this feel opposed to Red Velvet Psycho with the same concept. Purple Kiss didn't have much to work with, and I think in the end that actually helped the music video feel very grounded and made the standout moments pop more, like the scene at the pool with the floor choreo. The beauty shots are kept to a minimum and placed strategically throughout, unlike Psycho. Not to mention, Sweet Juice plays around with both a cold and warm palette, which Psycho stays pretty mute and pale throughout. It feels like they gave me what I had expecting more or less so years about from the Cake Girls. That being said, I wasn't feeling some of the choreography scenes. I think the constant full view of all 6 of them at times were awkward and should have been used to either hone in on a specific member like they did at other parts, or change the perspective. It just looked real static, if that makes sense. Overall, the comeback was enjoyable for me, with little details such as the scheduler being designed in hotel key slots, as well as the spoiler film that had Dossie speak to us like she was staff at the hotel. I just wished I enjoyed the album as much as I enjoyed the visuals. That's all for today, Straw Besties. Thank you for all the birthday love. Love you. Thank you for watching.
Who fuck is it?
You're a funny morals from kpop.
It's over. That's it, okay? That's all I gotta say.